Happy Mother's Day. That's a cheery story, isn't it? Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and stepmoms and auntie moms and neighbor moms. Everyone who's had something to do with the raising of a child and the impacting of their lives. You know, it's really hard. Year after year you get up here on Mother's Day, it's really hard to find some kind of new word to say. Some word that's going to adequately thank you or describe, you know, what a mother goes through. It's a hard job. Agreed? It's a tough thing. It doesn't come easy. As a matter of fact, it may be, besides preaching, one of the hardest jobs in the world. It truly is. And you would think with a job that tough that it would come with an instruction manual of some kind, wouldn't you? I mean, when you buy a lawnmower, it comes with an instruction manual, right? It tells you where to put the oil and the gas and how to set your wheels and how to cut grass, right? That's cutting grass. Or if you buy a microwave, it tells you which buttons to push, right? To get it right, to cook something just right. You're helping to develop a human life. How much harder is that than cutting the grass or cooking something in the microwave, yet there is no instruction manual for that. They just give you a couple of pacifiers, a handful of diapers, and a blanket and say, good luck, here you go. Go home, do the best you can, right? Wouldn't you think they would give an instruction manual on how to be a mom? But no, they just send you on your way, and you're supposed to somehow, some way, figure it all out, right? If you're lucky, you have a friend, or maybe your mom's still around, and she can help you figure it out, what you're supposed to do. Or you may look back and say, what did my mom do? Well, you probably weren't old enough to remember when they brought you home from the hospital, so that's not going to do you any good for the first couple of years, because you're not going to remember. But it's an important job, and it's a hard task. That's before you. And it's for that reason that the women who have pushed through and with a lot of prayer, figured it out, and raised children. And we thank you. We really do appreciate what you've done. Now, there's a lot of moms in the Bible that I could have used Eve, or I could have used Mary. Those are women whose name we know, right, in the Bible. And there's women's names throughout the Bible. Then there's those faceless women that we don't know, right? And today I chose some faceless women that we don't know their names, but we just know their story, or at least part of it. And it's through that story that I saw some characteristics that I think are good in moms. So as we go through the story, I want to share those with you, and hopefully you'll see them as well as I see them. As we start the story, we're told that two prostitutes are standing before the king. Now let me clarify something. I'm not saying that being a prostitute is a good quality that we want to do if you're a mother. Although some prostitutes are mothers. I mean, it's just a matter of fact. But that's not one of the qualities I'm talking about. But what I am talking about, as we go through the story, it says that two prostitutes were brought before the king with this problem, right? And I don't want to skip over that because it's something very important there. How did two prostitutes get before the king? Prostitutes don't hang out with kings. We're talking about kings are kings, prostitutes are prostitutes, if we're talking about like the pecking order of life, right? They're not normally in each other's company, are they? So how did these two harlots, these two prostitutes, get into the presence of the king? I mean, if I picked up the phone and called the White House, I said, look, I need to talk to Donald. Tell him it's Kenny. He's not picking up the phone. I might hear a dial tone. I might hear, and let me clarify, I'm not a prostitute, but I'm just using that as an example of how like an ordinary person trying to reach somebody of high level, say the President of the United States or the Supreme Court, I'm not going to get in front of those people. If I tried to get in front of Donald Trump, I would get tackled, I am sure, before I got within 10 feet of him. His Secret Service agents are going to be all over me. I'm not going to get there, am I? You're not going to get there. Maybe some of you, I don't know, some of you might be important enough where you can make that call. I can't make that call. Certainly two prostitutes can't make that call, but somehow they've ended up where? In front of the king. And the way they ended up there was just like any of the court system, because they had a court system, and they had gone before judge after judge trying to solve this problem. And both of these women had argued their case before the judge, right? So judge after judge, there was no lawyer, they just went before a judge, and they presented their case time and time and time again until it reached basically the ultimate court, the Supreme Court of that time, I guess, the king. So these women have already showed us something that we need to learn about motherhood. Most mothers will advocate for their children, will they not? Most mothers will stick up for their children and use that determination to get what their child deserves. To fight for their children, right or wrong sometimes, right? They show this determination, this forcefulness almost. You don't want to stand between a mother and what that mother thinks her child deserves, do you? I'm just telling you, you don't. It's a dangerous place to be. It really is. You know, you don't. It's like being. You don't want to stand between a bear, and a mother cub and her cub, right? Because you'll lose an arm. Same thing with the moms. Moms are a force, and we need to recognize that. And we're thankful they are, because don't we all need an advocate, right? Don't we all need somebody who's determined to get us through, right? We don't want moms that are going to quit, do we? Because it's easy to quit if you're a mom. I'm going to tell you what, you go through some stuff. You need determination to get through those sleepless nights when you bring that baby home and they cry all night and you don't get no sleep. Or they're up every 3 hours to be fed. Right? And the husband, where's he? He's asleep. Let's be honest, guys. We're just being honest here today. And so he's asleep. But you get up every 3 hours and feed that baby. So for months on end, you're going without sleep, like a good night's sleep, a sleep where you go all night, right? That takes some determination. And some prayer, if we're honest, right? To get through that. How about terrible twos? You talk about needing some prayer, right? When all the child knows what to say is no. No. Do that. No, mine. No, mine. Those are the 2 words a 2-year-old knows. No and mine. No, mine. No, mine. That's right. And so it wears on you after a while. But don't worry, because it graduates to age 3 where they just say, why? Why? Do this. Why? 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 And I know it takes an enormous amount of presence if you're a mom. Now, I've never been a mom. I've seen moms. I have a mom. And I know that she earned that title of mother. I'm going to tell you what, raising me. I mean, she prayed a lot. I heard her pray all the time. Lord, give me patience. Lord, give me patience. I mean, so I know, and I'm married to a mom, and I know a lot of work and a lot of love goes into mom. So I'm not a mom, but I'm just telling you from what I've experienced, mom's hard work, right? If you get through those terrible 2s and 3s and 4s, and get them off to school when you have that separation day, that first day, you have to be that determining force, that supportive force, right, that gets them through all those countless hours of homework, right? You got to wrestle them down, you got to make them sit there, and then you got to help them with their homework, right? You've never done that? Don't lie, I know you have. Some of you did their homework for them. I've seen those science projects walking into school. No kid did that. No kid did that. But if you get through all that, then you get to those teenage years. Every one of you's been a teenager. You know what I'm talking about. And from both sides of that stick, it's a wrestling match, isn't it? You want your independence, and mom wants you to do what is what? Right. She wants to keep you on the right track, and right path. Excuse me, my tongue's not working today. And sometimes that's easy, and sometimes it's a battle. I mean, sometimes this looks more like a battle royal than anything else I've ever seen. I mean, but moms are what? Determined, right? They're determined that you're going to turn out right. They want you, what's best for you. They want you to turn out right. That's a quality that we want. We want moms who are determined to get their children before the king. Like these 2 prostitutes. But when I say king, I don't mean king as in like the king of Israel. I'm talking about the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. We want moms who are determined to get their children into a relationship with God, don't we? Moms that will bring their children to church. Moms that will read their children the Bible. Moms that will teach them the Bible. Moms that will teach them about God and how much God loves them. So from a young age, they'll know that they can always count on God. Right? Amen? Amen. Amen. We want children growing up like that. We want children to know that, but we need moms to teach that. We want moms that are determined, like I said, to bring their children before the King. And that's what these women have done today. They fought the battle, they fought that fight, a tireless fight, to get their children before the King. You know, raising children sometimes ends up being a what? A fight, doesn't it? It ends up being an argument. It ends up being a struggle. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is. And there's a saying that goes something like this. It says when you're raising children is kind of like wrestling a gorilla. You don't give up when you're tired. You give up when the gorilla's tired. You have to fight until they're worn out. Because it's important that you win. Because you want what's best for them and you want them on the right path. Now we have this situation where they're before the king. Two harlots before the king. And what do they bring? They bring this argument, and I can just hear the excitement in this woman's voice as she's explaining to the king that she had a child, that her and this other woman lived in this house. And she had a child, and that 3 days later, this other woman has a child. And they're living there, and in the middle of the night, this other woman rolls over on her baby and kills it. So she takes the baby, and she goes over and takes the live baby and puts the dead baby with me. So when I wake up in the morning to a dead baby that this woman's put with me, I go to examine it. And I realize that it's not my child. And the other woman's like, no, that's not what happened. That's my child. She just killed her. Her child just died. That baby's mine. That baby's mine. Now, what do we see in that? There's a couple things. First, that they were alone in the house, which means there was no baby's daddy there, right? In other words, there's no men living there, which I guess if they were prostitutes would be probably norm for the norm. But it also tells us that these women were willing to raise their children on their own. Right? That they were willing to take on the tough job of raising children. As a matter of fact, one of them's fighting for a child after hers has died. Both of them are fighting for one child, but once child's died, they want that motherhood so desperately. You know, a lot of times we like to think of motherhood as some nice, clean, sweet-looking package with a ribbon tied on it, with, you know, a house with a picket fence and 2 children and a dog, and, you know. But motherhood's not always like that, is it? Sometimes motherhood comes tough. It doesn't come in a nice, clean package. Sometimes it comes to single moms. Or moms whose dad just decided, like, I'm man enough to father a child, but I'm not man enough to stick around and be a dad. And they get no support. But those moms fight through too. And they have to make tough decisions. Decisions like, how am I going to pay for Johnny or Sally's shoes and still afford to pay the rent? Or how am I going to get health care? Or those are tough choices. And they wrestle with those, and they fight with those, and they persevere. Because they're committed to their children. Motherhood doesn't always come in pretty packages. Does it? No. And we hear in this argument that, you know, mothers struggle. And a mother's struggles are real. Although we celebrate you for you making that struggle, for you being committed enough to get your children through, to get them through the hard times. You know, my daughter told me years ago, she goes, Dad, I'm not going to be, she was a teenager, she said, Dad, I'm not having any children. I don't want to be a mom. And as a dad of a teenage daughter, that's great news. You're like, yes. But I pushed it a little bit because I wanted to know. I said, okay, well, why is that? She said, because, you know, if you're a parent, if you're an adult, you got to give stuff up. You got to buy shoes for them before you buy shoes for yourself. You got to make sacrifices for your children, and you have to do without. She goes, I like stuff. She goes, I like having things. I don't think I'm selfless enough to be a good parent. I said, okay. Because I'm not pushing, as a teenage daughter, I'm not pushing that, right? I'm like, okay, no children, that's good. I like your attitude. But of course, as she grew up, she matured, and her heart changed, and she has 2 children today who wish her happy Mother's Day, and she does make those sacrifices for them that were made for her and that were made for us, that mothers make. Because mothers can't be selfish, can they? They have to be givers. Mothers have to be selfless. They're givers. They're those people who in our life who give us not because we deserve it, but because they love us. Kind of sounds like God, doesn't it? Sounds a whole lot like God. But it also tells us that when we listen to that story, the mom said when she examined the baby, when I got the morning and I examined the baby, I knew that wasn't my baby. Moms know their children, don't they? Yeah. I bet you right now, if a scream came from that back room, the mother of that child could tell me which one screamed. And they could also tell me if they were in distress, or they just getting attention, or if they were mad, or if it was a shriek of happiness, right? You could. You know, I've been at parties or in gatherings, and there'll be 20 children in one room, and all the adults in the other room, and one child will cry out. And within a split second, I mean, it's like comes some kind of superhero hearing or deciphering there. Within a split second, the mom of that child knows that's their child that's crying and makes them move. And the other mothers will sit right there. That's not my child. But that mom is on her way into the other room, right? Moms know their children. It's just like this bond that can't be replaced. They know their children. They know when their children are happy. They know when their children are sad. They know when their children are discouraged. They know when their children are angry. See, a mom knows a child's needs because a mom knows their own child. Maybe you experience that with your children, or maybe you experience that with your own mother. But without saying a word, she knew what your need was. She knew you were upset. She knew you were sad. She knew you were angry. And she was there to hear you talk about it, to give you what you need, to comfort you. Moms know. Moms know their children, don't they? But as these women argue back and forth, what happens? It's mine, it's mine, no, it's mine, you're wrong, you're a liar, I'm not, back and forth, back and forth. The king finally says, what? Bring me a sword. Bring me a sword. I'm going to take care of this right now. And it seems a little crazy. I mean, it seems a little harsh to me. But Solomon's a wise one, I'm just a preacher. But it seems like a very harsh reality. But he says, bring me the sword and I'll cut that baby in half. And each of you will get a half. You'll both be satisfied. At that point in the story, you're like, that don't sound that smart to me. But how wise was that? Because what did it do? It revealed who the real mother was, wasn't it? Didn't it? The real mother said, no, don't cut that child. Just give it. Give it to the other woman. Don't kill it, just give it to her. And what does that say about that mother? She wanted that child. She needed that child. But the welfare of that child was more important than what she needed, wasn't it? Moms put the welfare of their children above their own needs oftentimes. We see that day in, day out, that unselfish, that giving love. That love that changes people's lives. You know, none of you would be here without a mother. You understand that, right? And for most of us, if we really look back, we wouldn't be the person we are today without that mother. One way or the other. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but we wouldn't be here without mothers. Mothers put that need for the children above their own need. They're a special type of people. Ones that really can't be described in words. But did you notice at the end of this passage, Solomon says, give that baby to the woman who said, let it live. For she is his mother. Did you notice she wasn't a harlot anymore in the story? She wasn't a prostitute. She wasn't referred to as a prostitute or a harlot, depending on your interpretation, but a mother. He said, give it to that prostitute there. Because her love and her dedication and her commitment to her child, to her motherhood, outweighed anything else in her past. See, what you do at your job, some of you have jobs, or have had jobs when you were raising children. What you did at your job, what you do at your work is important work. There's no doubt about that. It doesn't define you. The impact you make on your children, how you raise them, what you teach them, has an impact on the whole world. If you teach them to hate, they will surely hate. If you teach them unforgiveness, they'll mirror unforgiveness. But if you teach them to love, they will love. If you teach them to forgive, they will forgive. You see, kids watch us all the time. Fathers and mothers alike. They're looking to see, what does it mean to be a mom? You know, your little girls watch you, and your girls watch you. What does it mean to be a mom? I'm learning. I want to know. So when I grow up and I'm a mom, I know how to act. And the question you have to answer is, are you being a mirror of Christ's love that He's placed in your heart to them? Because that's what we all want to be. That's the type of mothers we need in this world. Moms that will reflect that love. You see, reality is, there really is no words to thank moms for the job they do. That the job they do is, it's too hard to describe by words. It really is. It truly is. I could sit here and throw words and fancy words at you all day and try to describe it, and I can't. I really can't. There's not enough Hallmark cards. There's not enough presents. There's not enough flowers. There's not enough lays. There's not enough of anything to thank you enough for the job you've done. The job you do as grandmother still. Because you have an effect on people's lives too. So all I have is I want to tell you one thing. For every step you take, for every night you get up, for every heartbreaking moment you share with your child, for every laugh that you share with your child, know that you're never alone. That God is there with you. The king had time for the harlots, and God always has time for you. So as you raise your girls, or you raised your girls, or you raising your children or grandchildren, know that you never walk through it alone. That there is no instruction manual, but there is a God who's willing to guide your path if you listen to Him. We need to only tune in to find out what we should do and how we should raise our children. Our children are the most precious gift that God gives us. And the gift of mothers that He gives us to raise them is equally important. As I've said before, there are no words, so I'll simply leave you with this statement. Thank you for what you do. Happy Mother's Day. And all God's people said, Amen.